The unique challenges that men face after infidelity. That's our topic today. And sir, if you've been cheated on, you're going to want to spend a few minutes with me. I'm Dr. Doug Weiss. I've been helping men and women for over the last 40 years of my career, specifically with infidelity, sexual addiction, intimacy, anorexia. And I want you to have a healthier life even after she's cheated on you. So please, if you haven't subscribed, hit the button, have a question, put it in the box. We'll get to it as soon as possible. Well, there are several dangers that can happen to a man after the person you gave all of your heart to, all of your life to, all of your money to, and maybe had children with, and you find out that she has cheated with someone you know, someone you don't know, a one-night stand, a long-term relationship, someone on social media. It doesn't really matter the source of the other person as far as it relates to you being in pain. Now, because you're a man, you handle pain differently than a woman. And betrayal affects you differently, although you'll still have some of the PTSD symptoms and other things that we might get into. But I want to give you some of the top things to be aware of for yourself. I did put together a 2-hour DVD called The Betrayed Man, because most men will not call for counseling. I hope that you do. And if you do, call my office because we specialize in infidelity. A general practitioner is not going to know the nuances of your anger, your pain, your grief, or the steps out of the process. So you want to be careful not to just go to someone who says they treat it. Make sure they're certified. All of the counselors, if you call my office, are certified in partner betrayal trauma. They're certified in sexual addiction. They're certified in intimacy and anorexia. So they know how to help you. And if your spouse is willing or your partner's willing to repair the relationship, they can help you as well. Come do an intensive, do phone counseling. All of that can be helpful, but she may not be interested in healing. Regardless of her, there are some symptoms that you might have that you want to be aware of. Number one is isolation. It seems like men will turn inward and think about it and not talk about it and not tell anyone about it, whereas women will tend to have to tell somebody. Most men don't want to tell anybody. It makes them feel less than, insignificant, worthless, stupid for staying or not being enough, or they question their sexuality. Whatever the narrative is that you're telling yourself, it'll cause you to isolate, and the meaning you give her cheating can cause that specifically. The reason she cheated is because she's responsible for cheating. She might have her rationales, but there's nothing that you did to make her cheat. Now, I'm not saying you might not have influences on how bad or healthy or dysfunctional the marriage is, but cheating is an individual responsibility. But your betrayal, that bullet that goes inside of you, now that's your responsibility. So you definitely do not want to isolate. We have Facebook groups, telephone groups, counseling. You don't need to go tell everyone or even your best friend if you don't want to, but you need to talk. That's really imperative if you're going to heal rapidly. Okay, and the more you isolate, the less likely you're going to heal rapidly. The second characteristic for men is you're going to blame yourself, and she's going to blame you. Women who cheat can oftentimes, especially if they struggle with intimacy and anorexia. So I want to take an asterisk moment and just explain that to you. You can watch our other YouTubes on that. If this fits, you're in double pain. Because an intimacy anorexic avoids intimacy with you and your heart. Okay, so I'm going to give you a handful of characteristics. And if you go, yes, 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 do some research on that, because you have trauma from the intimacy and anorexia, the neglect, as well as trauma from being cheated on. So real quickly, I'm going to go through this, because if they suffer with this, you're going to get super duper blamed. If they're too busy for you, they're not too busy for everyone else, but they don't have time for dates. They don't want to sit down, connect, have those conversations or quality time with you. They blame you for all the problems in the relationship. You rarely or almost never hear "I'm sorry" or "I'm wrong" or taking responsibility for her behaviors, no matter what the behaviors are. She just can't seem to be flawed, right? She will withhold love from you, especially the way you want love, be it touch or time or praise, whatever it is, you will be lacking. She will withhold spiritually from you, even if she's a spiritual leader. She will withhold sex from you, and this can happen in different ways. She can make sex a negative experience, like trying to make it quick or fast, or not close your eyes and not be present with you, and get up right after sex, try to sabotage the sex. She may withhold sex for weeks or months or even years at a time. She might blame you for that. And so withholding sex, be it the frequency or the connectivity, is definitely a form of intimacy anorexia. She will be unwilling or able to share her feelings with you. She will use anger or silence as a way to control you in the marriage. She will have ongoing or ungrounded criticism of you. Even if she's not saying it, you can see it in her eyes. You can sense it that she's just critical of you. Okay? And so you're going to feel married and alone. And if you felt married and alone most of your marriage, I want you to look up intimacyanorexia.com. Lots of information there, lots of YouTubes on that. And it's a specialty. You want to make sure if you go to counseling, they specialize in intimacy anorexia. Otherwise, you're going to go to counseling and be blamed. And it's awful. You can't grow as long as you're blaming. But you can't heal if you're blaming yourself for something you're not responsible for. You're not responsible for cheating. It's not about you not being enough. It's not about you not providing enough. It's not about you being out of shape or getting old or whatever the thing is. She's responsible for her cheating. You might have some responsibility in dysfunction, and you need to take responsibility for that and get help with that. But do not blame yourself for the acts of cheating. Another thing that you could easily do is visually imagine, especially if you're asking details, where, when, what position, all that. Don't get into all that, because you're just going to imagine things that are way disproportionately to truth. And so you want to definitely guard your imagination. How many times she slept with him? Did she multi-orgasm? Did she have an orgasm? Did she enjoy it? Did she initiate it? All these kind of crazy things. And she might even suggest things for you to be tortured with. So be very careful about your imagination, because that can definitely be intrusive, even create PTSD kind of symptoms, where you're just kind of going along your day and bam, you're starting to think and imagine, her with him or her with her, or whatever the situation is. Now, anger is normal. I'm not going to go into great detail because I spend quite a bit of time on the Betrayed Man DVD or download on anger and how to express it in a healthy way, how to manage your emotions, how to shift your emotions. But anger is necessary for you to feel, but in a healthy way. Going off and yelling and screaming at her or yourself is not the healthy way. There is a way to do it, and I don't have enough time at this point to share all that, but definitely get the video. Because the reason that the Betrayed Man video is 2 hours long, because I realize most men will not seek help. Over my career of 40 years, okay, men don't come to my office with a cheating wife as often as women do. You might be more apt to leave than to go through the process of trying to sort through all the pain and how she got there and the whys. Well, in the Betrayed Man, I get into the whys and the paths back and how to heal you, her, both if you want to. So it's really important that you get informed, because that way you'll suffer less. And even what I'm talking about now, you will have less impact. Now, the last thing I'm going to talk about is your grief. And the grief, because there's different types of infidelity. There's affairs, there's pornography, there's emotional affairs, there's sex acts, there's one-night stands, there's long-term relationships that involve sexuality, there's intermittent affairs. So there's all kinds of those things. But one of the things that's universal that men will suffer is your whole life is different. You will grieve your past anniversary, vacations, because it's going to be clouded with, oh, she was with him or them or this at that point. It's going to invade your present, like so many decisions you have to make. It could affect your finances, where you or her live, the kids, visitation, so many painful things it affects. And then you're also grieving the future because you probably have created a kind of a vision for where your marriage and your future is going to be, where you want to retire, how you want to live your life together, how you imagine that. And so your losses are universal. You have those. As a consequence of her cheating, you're going to have that. So this is some of the unique challenges that men face who've experienced infidelity. And I'm going to just be straight up with you. There's more. You are going to be on a journey for a while. Now, you can be ignorant to what you need, or you can get informed. The men who heal quickly and rapidly and have less impact as far as depression, PTSD, their work problems, etc., are those that get informed. Get informed. The Betrayed Man video download can help you tremendously even right now. A couple hours of time can save you tens of thousands of dollars in counseling. And if you need counseling, call my office. You can do phone counseling. We have groups for men who've been betrayed. We have groups for men who are living with intimacy anorexics as well. And you want support. You want a counselor or a couple guys you can talk to who experience the same thing, understand your language, understand your hurt, understand the ups and downs of you can be good for 3 to 7 days and all of a sudden you're in a crash or you're in a spin, you're confused. All of those are normal symptoms of what you got going on. So you do well to be informed, to be supported in the process. Whether she changes or not, you're responsible to heal you. My encouragement, get the information, get support, and then make those choices. And we have other YouTubes as far as what she can do to help. If she wants to change, that's also in the Betrayed Man. Symptoms of if she wants to change, if she doesn't want to change. You deserve to have the best information. I've been doing this for 40 years. I'm the president of the American Association for Sex Addiction Therapy. I've been on Oprah, Dr. Phil, Good Morning America, 2020, so many national shows and radio shows, all that stuff. But I'm here to tell you, you deserve to take care of you. Your family, your children are still depending on you. And the way to be the best dad is to be the most healed man you can be after being shot with betrayal. So take care of yourself and do what you need to heal.